Things are going to start happening to me now.
You've done all the reading. You're a scholar. You're a professor. You've done all the reading. You've done the intellectual heavy lifting.
More or less, eat shit and die.
You wouldn't know a fact if it begged you all night long.
Want to like, give the wrong impression because I am very high.
Ran up behind him with a hatchet. Smash, smash, smash. Yeah.
Care. I'm a libertarian. What I'm getting is,
Did you vote for Joe Jorgensen or Trump?
Who?
Joe Jorgensen. That was the perfect answer. Thank you. That was...
You know, we all need excuses for things, and Dickie needs a reason to drink. So he said, let's do a beer review number 2. It's fine. I don't really even know how to do these things. I've got one here. I was already sucking it down. It's called Numb Juice. Numb Number Juice is one of them. This is called Numb Number. It's a hazy double IPA from Fall River Brewing Company. You've got the mango wheat.
I got the Golden Road mango cart.
There you go. I almost got a mango one today. I was out shopping for some of these. Welcome, Dickie. Welcome once again to the show.
Hello.
By the way, you've done some renovations to your house, haven't you?
Done a couple. Planning on doing a few more finalizing touches pretty soon, actually. My mother-in-law's coming this weekend, actually, and I might have mentioned this last week, but she's a drywall enthusiast. So she's going to help us do the sheetrock, do some of the mudding and stuff like that. So
I've done a bunch of sheetrock stuff, and it's what, like anything, like what you've done in your house there. Once you start figuring something out and you start trying it, it's amazing what you can do. So sheetrock.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's the case.
Right.
It's kind of a pain in the ass, but
Right. So you wanted to drink, so you felt the obligation to talk to me about it. So let's start off with first of all, how's your weekend been going, and what's the impetus for doing this?
Well, to be honest, I've been drinking all day. I've been drinking all weekend, actually.
All right.
I've been cutting back on my intake, but this weekend has been a fun one for sure, and it has had many causes for celebration. First and foremost, it is the weekend of Rachel and I's anniversary.
Well,
so
congratulations.
we celebrate our 2-year anniversary tomorrow. So we got a few things planned. So we've been packing our weekend full of activities, and also my brother. I posted this on Twitter. My brother got engaged, so that's been a nice little cause for celebration as well.
No, yeah, there you
go. So we went to church this morning. Then we went downtown Pensacola, walked around the historic district area a little bit, and then we had gone to McGuire's Irish Pub, where I go every week. We went there for brunch. I'd actually never been there for brunch. My brother had gone a few times, and he was like, "Dude, I know you like going there at nights, but you got to go there for brunch. They got bottomless mimosas. They have good brunch deals. So they have these deals where you can get like an omelet or a Benedict for around $13 to $15 for one of their omelets or Benedicts, plus beignets, fruit, potatoes, and you get a free Irish coffee, either hot or frozen, with it. So I went with that. That's a good ass deal. Plus I got bottomless mimosas to go with it. So they give you bottomless mimosas or champagne. Basically, they just walk around the tables and they just give you orange juice and champagne both, so you can mix it how you want. You can drink either one. So by the time we got done with that, I was pretty pissed, man. I was pretty drunk and happy. So we get done. We walk around the historic district downtown Pensacola. I'm looking around. I'm already kind of buzzed and a little bit drunk, so I'm looking around for a good spot for my brother to propose, because I actually proposed downtown Pensacola as well. Wow. So I'm looking for a good spot for him. I saw some live oak trees over here. I saw a nice little vineyard over there by the brewery that I usually go to, where actually it's right near this brewery right here, Pensacola Bay. Shout out to Pensacola Bay Brewery, right behind there. And so I saw these little trellis with a bunch of grapevines, and it was really pretty. I actually posted those pictures, I think. And so I played it off. So I kind of staggered over there.
What makes a good spot to propose?
In my opinion, I'm not a professional photographer or a professional bender of
Propose.
knees, but I think it's got to be
Okay.
it's got to have
Andy.
somewhat of an aesthetic.
Okay.
What's up?
Well, I was gonna say Andy's in the chat and he said, "Who all here gay?" So he's might be a professional bender of the knee, if you
He
know what I
might
mean.
be. Yeah. So I think it's got to have at least one or two solid aesthetics to it. So in my case,
Okay.
when I proposed, I'll just tell you the story. All right, let's do that. So this was back in 2020, Valentine's Day actually, which is my birthday. Valentine's Day 2020, February
Okay.
14th. So I told Rachel, hey, I have a friend in my lab in my one of my I think microbiology or something like that. One of those labs I was taking in school. She was a photographer, and she was kind of aspiring. She was trying to get some practice. And Monster Truck Rally proposal aesthetic. so and
Right.
so this wasn't a lie. This was true. She was trying to get some practice, and so I told her because she was roommates with my boss. I told her, hey, look, I'm looking to propose. I've told my boss, your roommate, about it, so she knows. My boss and I were pretty close. She helped me through a lot of things in college as my boss in my school job, and so she knew I was going to propose, and she had passed the word along to her roommate who takes pictures, and so I talked to her about it, and she goes, yeah, just pay me, I don't know, $50 or whatever. We'll make it happen. And so I tell Rachel, hey, look, it's Valentine's Day. It's my birthday. I want us to get a good Valentine's shoot. My friend over here, she's trying to get her practice in, and she's going to do it for very cheap. So Rachel was like, okay, no problem. Let's do it. It'll be fun. And so that kind of threw her off the trail a little bit. She kind of had her suspicions that I was going to propose, but it at least gave a good diversion. And I think it worked out pretty well. We went out to the pier downtown Pensacola, right by the statue of General Andrew Jackson, near there's a whole lot of historic stuff downtown. We went down to the pier, and I kind of was like, hey, look, dolphins. There's dolphins in the water. So she was like, oh, shit. She turns around. Then I got down on one knee, blah, blah, blah. So I was looking to do that for my brother. I was going to help him out and get to a similar spot, but they were doing construction on the pier. So I was hobbling around pretending to be drunker than I was. And I said, oh, I was kind of wandering around in somebody's backyard. They had this historic house downtown. And these houses, you know how they have the historic landmarks by
Yeah.
the house if
Yeah.
it's an old ass house. So I saw one and they had their gate open. And I was like, oh shit, I'm wandering into their backyard. So I did. I walked into their fucking backyard, and they had a little historic landmark there. And so I saw they had this little grapevine trellis in their backyard. And I took a few pictures, and I looked at them, and I was like, okay, that's good. So I went back to my brother and I was like, hey man, check out this meme. And I showed him the pictures, and I kind of whispered in his ear, like, hey man, pop the question right here. And his girlfriend was right there. So I kind of whispered to him, and he kind of played it off and laughed. So we walked around a little bit, we were all kind of buzzed. And so his fiance now kind of walked off the little buzz that she had. And I made sure we all walked back to that little yard, and the gate was still open. And we went back into that grapevine trellis and took some pictures, and he popped the question. It was a pretty good moment. I'm very proud of him.
Good. How old is he?
He is 2 years younger than me, so 22.
Okay, let's handle a few things here. First of all, Andy says Dick Vitale or Dickie Valentino. Yeah, baby. That's,
hey, awesome, baby, with a capital A, baby.
Right, that's my Dickie Vitale. Spudrucka says my husband told me we should get married. LMAO.
Hey,
yeah,
Spud.
that's kind of how I did it with my current wife. My lease was up, and I was gonna move into the house she was in, and then my sister's like, "Why don't you guys get married?" And then so I'm like, emailed her, and I'm like, "Yeah, we should just get married." Now she claimed she asked me, but when I said, "Yeah, let's just get married," I think that's what that's what it was.
I think so. In my case, Rachel was kind of pressuring me for us to get engaged and get married. That was definitely my case.
Dude, we met in July, end of July, and got married the end of November. So
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
And then I did end up doing the ring ceremony, all this other stuff later on, because we actually went to the county recorder's office and just did a little quick thing there with the kids and my sister. So I had to make it a little more official with a nice ring, like several years later.
Yeah,
when we were having some issues in our marriage. You got to take care of shit.
Right.
And then the last thing I want to say, just thinking a bunch of stuff here. I hate the videos or the things you see on YouTube or Facebook, couples getting engaged and they're all surprised and there's all these good camera angles. I'm like, look, bitch, what do you think? Someone's there with a camera. You're getting engaged. This isn't a surprise. And by the way, if you ever see these videos, it's TikTok, it's Instagram, it's Facebook mostly. And it's like some sort of, like some guy someone does something amazing to a homeless person. I'm like, someone's filming this. This is not real life, people. Okay.
That homeless guy sees a camera crew come up slow to him, and he's like, "Yes, I've been waiting for this moment in my whole fucking life."
Right. Princess Diana car crash proposal. Is that what he was doing at the time? And Andy also said, "This Tom Hanks motherfucker, you've got mail ass."
Bro, Andy's been on the warpath today. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, bro.
I don't know either. Andy's coming on tomorrow. Today's Sunday, right? Yeah, tomorrow we're doing Scott Horton, and I've done a lot of research because we're doing skateboarding.
Dude, that's awesome.
He was on board with me and having to plan a wedding, so it worked out perfect. The thought of planning a wedding gives me hives. Yeah. So my first wedding, it was a big deal. Thousands of dollars. It was ridiculous. Anyway, and then the second time, like I said, justice of the peace, having my 10-year coming up. I think we talked about it before.
Right.
How many years is this for you now? You and Rachel?
It's 2 years. 2 years.
Congratulations. By the way,
I'll say this. I'll say this on the internet, man.
Oh shit.
I know myself. I'm a fucking retard. I have plenty of problems.
True.
I am extremely grateful and very happy that I've found the wife that I have. I mean, it really does take a special kind of saint to put up with me as long as she has for about 4.5 years, 2 years of marriage. None of my friends in college thought we were going to get together, let alone last, let alone get married. So it is very nice. So that's me being gay for 30 seconds. But yeah, I really appreciate my wife.
Dave Smith has kind of ventured off into this, almost giving like life advice, and I think it's important, and it's
I think so.
No, I mean, especially going just the stupid random thing that happened the other day. I'm at work. My wife's like, "Oh, I need to use your computer," because for some reason hers got disconnected from the printer. So she FaceTimes me and I'm helping her get on my computer, which is fine. And she's going through all this. She has to use my email. And then there was something later. The point of this is I don't hide anything. I'm not doing anything nefarious. And it's a great feeling to be able to be this kind of person, because I wasn't always. At least in this marriage I have, of open and honest and like, a trustworthy type of person. And I think men need to do these kind of things. If you're screwing around online and you're whatever, I always behave as if my wife's looking over my shoulder. Not that she's some sort of dictator, and I talk to her about it. And it's a great way to foster a relationship and be involved in things together. And it's once again, I implore you to continue on being that way.
That's
because you'll have a great relationship.
That's a great philosophy to have. Yeah. It's something I've tried to adopt recently, at least. Like it's much more of a freeing mindset.
There's nothing worse than 100%. Trying to hide shit from someone and be, the Jay Okerson. I don't know if you've heard about that, where his phone's under his pillow, his mistress calls and his wife finds it and he's asleep. And Andy says here, to be fair, when am I not on the warpath? That's
why I love you, big boy. The damn A-Train. A-Train's always on full blast.
I haven't followed along the group chat stuff the last few days. So what's been going on? What have I missed?
Oh, and Andy's just been hollering at bitches on the timeline, like let alone sliding to DMs. He's just saying it right in their comments and shit. So I got respect. But you know something, Tyler? Let's get into what we're drinking real quick, because it's a little hot out here on my porch. I'm sitting out here.
The porch idea. I like this.
It's about 80-something degrees. I do dig it. No, it's nice.
Enclosed?
It's enclosed. It's about 6:48 in the evening right now, so it's cooling off. So I'll show you real quick. It's full of stuff still. So you see all that right there? Yeah. It's a very sizable porch.
Yeah.
Pretty big. Right now we're kind of keeping some odds and ends until we put everything away, and until we build a full blown shed, we can put some stuff away too. But we're kind of storing things out here too. But as you can see, everything is kind of enclosed in plastic or on the screens. So that's kind of a blessing and a curse. During the winter time, it traps in the heat and it feels amazing. It feels nice. You can work out in here. During the summertime, if you try to work out here, it's a damn sauna. You're sweating your weight off in about 10 minutes. So right now it's not too bad. I got me a cold beer, and that's why we're here, right? We're here to review some beer. So I've got my Golden Road Mango cart. I've already drank about half of it. One of my favorite fruity wheat ales, actually. I like Blue Moons. I like that kind of stuff. So I grabbed me a 6-pack of Mango cart at the local ABC store for $6.99. They had it on sale, 4% alcohol. Oop. And I think from like San Diego or something.
Yeah,
I've been drinking on that. So you used to be a fan of this stuff. You used to get a lot of this, right?
I did. That was one that I drank a lot of, and that one led me to. We talked about that last week, kind of into my phasey haze.
Yeah.
Hazy phase. Sorry. And by the way, Andy said.
Oh, thank you, Andy. I got it from Austin. I got it from Austin Peterson, my favorite nuclear warfare enthusiast. Call the cops. I don't give a fuck.
We did a little breakdown of his thing last week, his rating system. So I used to drink that a lot, and then I told you I found this local beer that was a mango peach hazy, and it was fantastic, and so I kind of went into that one. But
I had one of those today. Sorry to cut you off. I had one of those today. So like this glass I have, the Pensacola Bay Brewery. It's a very old brewery downtown. It had an older name. I think it was I forgot the name of it. But the name has been called this since 2009. Before that, it was something else. And so they have an extensive list of house beers that they make. Plus, they got their liquors and shit that they keep on, on the shelves, and they have some other stuff on tap. But they also have stuff off the menu. So that's a very fun thing to do. You feel like you're walking into a speakeasy. You tell the bartender, hey, man, what you got for me? And he recognizes you. And so today they had a peach mango wheat. And so right after my brother Ryan popped the question, we walked right into the brewery, got a few of those. Lone Star Lights. Okay. Oh, my gosh. No.
I don't know what that is.
I will lick the trash can before I drink some Lone Star. I'm sorry.
All right.
I don't know. I don't even know what.
It's a beer. That sounds like an Andy beer. So.
I'll tell you what I've been drinking. That's an Andy beer. I've been drinking some of that Bud Ice, man. That stuff will fuck you up.
What about
that's a fun.
What about Old Milwaukee? That seems like one of the
Old Milwaukee. I never had Old Milwaukee.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Is that in the Miller family?
I don't know. That's a beer that's from the 80s, kind of like the Rainier beer.
Okay. Well, I wasn't born yet.
Okay. And it was it's one of the trashier ones. It was probably a step right above like if you watch a TV show and they don't actually have beer, it just says beer on the can. That's like the lowest type of beer. It's probably a step right above that. Yeah. It's piss water.
I keep I actually looked at my notifications. I just got a notification from National Beer Day. They've been hopping into my mentions lately. I'm sure you saw the other day.
Yes.
So at this point, I've just been calling every day National Beer Day. And I posted something about my brother got engaged on National Beer Day, and they're back in my mentions with National Beer Day is April 7th, and today is August 7th. So that's why I did it.
They're really taking it personal, aren't they?
They're very autistic about it. So which is why I'm poking the bear and kind of just doing my own thing. I don't give a fuck. Every day is National Beer Day to me. So
I'm gonna play this this beer commercial because this is back in the day. This is Rainier beer. This is the kind of stuff they did. Okay, here you go.
Okay. Is that Mount Rainier? Is that what that is?
So that's a beer up by Seattle, and that's kind of shit. So they'd always do stuff. It was like Rainier.
So interesting. So what does it taste like? Is it like a lager beer or a pilsner?
I don't know. I wasn't drinking beer back then, so
a cheap piece of shit.
Yeah, it's probably just your typical.
So I'm almost done with this one. So this one actually, for those of you who may have not tried Mango Cart, my condolences first of all. It actually tastes more like a cider or a mixed drink than a beer. It's so fruity, which I'll actually like this one. I'm a big fan of mango stuff. So a very subtle wheat flavor. It's only 4%, so you're not going to get much anyways in terms of a beer full flavor anyway. But very nice, crisp, fruity, sweet flavor, and it's very refreshing on a hot day in the porch.
Excellent.
So yeah,
Yeah, and I could
big fan,
vouch.
big fan.
I could vouch for it. I've got this. So the Fall River Brewing. I think is that the same one I had last week? Same brewery, maybe.
You had a like a California haze,
right? But
like
it might be the same brewery. That's my point.
Okay.
They make one called Numb Juice, which is a stupid name. This one's called Numb and Number. I've never seen it before. I grabbed it today. It's a double. It's hitting me pretty hard.
Oh, I'm sure. Those doubles and triples will sneak up on you, man.
Right. And so I have like one, and then I'm like out, which I probably better to do something else. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's take some viewer oh my God, LOL. Haven't seen one of those commercials in forever. Yes. So Spud, you probably saw those, especially being closer to my age and being up in the Northwest area. There was a Rainier Beer song. One of the commercials had the song and the mascot. I think it was
a black bear.
Probably. So they were actually pretty good. They were pretty good.
Do you remember?
For gay men. Thank you. Pocky Monkeypox spokesman.
So I remember like my dad used to collect these Time magazines. I guess he had a subscription, and he was a history teacher, so he would keep up with current events and stuff. And so he, for a while, I guess he cut it off, but for a while he kept a bunch of old Time magazines from when Bush was president, from like the mid 2000s. And I when I was a little kid, I was like 10, 12, 13. I would go through his bookshelf and find stuff that he had that he wasn't reading, and I would read it because I love to read. And I found his Times. So I'd go through the Time magazines and stuff and read those. And one of those was an op-ed about kind of toxic masculinity, female objectification, stuff like that. And this was mid 2000s, so it was a pioneer. It was a pioneer piece. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
This is before the cancel culture, Me Too movement.
Right.
So, and I say this because the main story they led with the Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson Super Bowl halftime commercial.
Right.
If you remember that, when he kind of
totally the wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah, the wardrobe malfunction, right? And so they were like, "This is an example of." They didn't say toxic masculinity. They said something else because that wasn't a term back then.
Right.
But they were talking about that, and they segued quickly into alcohol, basically beer advertisement, and how that really objectified women. All the beer commercials had sexy women on it. That the Coors Light twins that were prominent at all the Super Bowls and football games, these Swedish chicks with big fake tits and shit. And apparently they had a commercial. It was a Super Bowl commercial of like Miller Lite. And there was this like horny monkey that was like humping a woman because she had a Miller Lite can or something like that. I wasn't born then, or I was born, but I was a small kid, so I don't remember. But they really had a beef with the fact that beer advertisement only used sexy women. And I remember that. I remember back in the day when they just had hot chicks. Hardee's had only hot chicks in their commercials. Corona, Miller Lite, Coors Light, they all had the fucking hot chicks in bikinis and whatnot at the beach and stuff. And then they just stopped. They just had I don't fucking know. They used veterans and other bullshit in their ads. I don't see beer commercials much anymore myself because I don't have TV. I just stream. So I don't know. They might have abandoned that.
So when you mentioned Miller Lite, they used to have a campaign. By the way, some of the best commercials ever. They had a debate because they would say taste great, less filling. That was like their.
Oh, I love Miller Lite. Let me roll this out for you real quick. Keep going.
Okay, so they had Spud Rucka says, yeah, they were great. Being back booby advertising. Okay.
She's drunk too. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah. So they had commercials. It was basically they would say taste great, and then they would say less filling, and then they would have one group of people that were like, it's tastes great, and one say it's less filling. And it was a fantastic commercial. So they have all these, Rodney Dangerfield, all these celebrities, and they were having competition about tastes great, less feeling stupid, like golfing underwater. It was great stuff. It was a heyday. Let me see if I could actually find one.
Because now that you say that, a lot of the commercials I see now are like golfers and bikers that do beer commercials. So I see there's this one cyclist.
Bikers like the ones that go to Sturgis.
Bicyclists.
Oh, cyclists. Gotcha.
So they there's one where there's like a cyclist. He rides up a mountain and he cracks open a generic blank beer can and he just dumps all over himself, all over his head. And then they say, you don't want a beer that tastes like water. You want a Miller Lite or some bullshit like that. Okay. And then they have a one, there's golfers and it's the Michelob commercials. Michelob likes golf.
Michelob.
And
I know Lance Armstrong was kind of part of that thing. I don't know. So here's Andy. He says, imagine NASCAR being sponsored by Numb Number Butt Juice. Right. So that's why I don't watch
Bubba
NASCAR.
Wallace.
Hey,
Bubba Wallace would do it.
Yeah, they're so fucking woke. Remember they had the guy that with the pole thing down for the garage door, and they made a big thing about it. I'm sorry, that's your sport, Andy. Fuck.
Dude, okay, look, man. Being from North Carolina, like we love our NASCAR in North Carolina. Okay, we take that very seriously. Richard Petty, I'm named after Richard Petty.
Yeah.
Dale Earnhardt is there.
Well, he's dead. Junior.
He's dead. Petty's still alive. I've been to his museum and shit. But all that to say, Dale Jr. is still alive. Those are some big North Carolina names. Junior Johnson as well. So racing's big up there. And when NASCAR officially decided back in the early 2010s, I think, to remove the Confederate flag from every location, every raceway. I mean, dude, they lost a lot of fans. Guys who have been diehard fans since the 70s, 80s, 90s, they quit tuning in. I'm not even kidding. They were diehard fans too. So now even NASCAR went full on stupid ass woke. And I don't know why. Nobody else watches it except the fucking rednecks and shit. So there's 0 point.
Right.
I don't understand.
So you made me think of something, which is stupid, like removing the Confederate flag, right? So, and by the way, we'll get back to the beer here in a second, but Jalen Rose, you probably remember him. I think it was part of the Fab Five. Michigan, obviously NBA player. He's just now come out and said we should basically remove or not. Mount Rushmore is a bad thing.
Okay. I haven't seen that. Interesting.
Yeah. What do you think of Jalen Rose?
Okay. I've got my own biases against Jalen because I'm a big Duke fan. Being from North Carolina, being from Durham, used to work for Duke. I used to go to a lot of games. My uncle and cousin both are ushers at Duke basketball. So if you haven't, have you seen the Fab Five ESPN documentary?
No, I watched them.
Okay.
I was actually pulling for him at the time, and then
okay.
Yeah. Wasn't that Chris Webber with the timeout?
Webb caught a timeout against UNC in '93. So yeah. Duke beat him in '92. Duke played him twice when they had Leitner and Hurley and Grant Hill.
Was that against UNLV? I'm trying to.
No, they played UNC in '93.
Okay.
That was when Webb called a timeout. So they made it to back-to-back championship games. The first year they were all freshmen. They played Duke. They were tied with Duke at halftime, and Duke beat them by 20. They played Duke twice. They played him in the fall, like in the ACC Big Ten Challenge, and they were kind of hyping that game up. Jalen Rose, that's why I'm saying that Jalen Rose was talking mad shit about like Grant Hill and whatnot, calling him Uncle Tom because he played for Duke, and then Grant Hill went and whooped his ass. Yeah, so then they beat them twice, and the next year they played Carolina and lost. I don't hate Jalen Rose. I'm a fan of his game. Like he was a unique player because back then you didn't see that many tall guards that could post up.
Right.
That could post up, that could play the mid range, that could pull up, that could dish the way he did. You had Magic Johnson, but I was just gonna say
Magic Johnson, yeah.
Right. So he was like a next level Magic Johnson. I think he played the point guard at Indiana. Yeah, he played the one, Reggie played two. And he dropped a lot of buckets on the Lakers back in the 2000 finals. So he had a decent career, but I love to bring up the fact that Kobe dropped 81 on his ass that one time. So I have a bias against Jalen, just from that. And another thing, talking about the politics, Mount Rushmore, I automatically just ignore every political statement that athletes make because they're fucking retarded. Like, I love LeBron James. He's one of the best basketball players I've ever seen. But I just completely ignore his politics because he's stupid. Same thing with Jalen, you know? He was an incredible player, but fuck him.
Well, it goes to, you know, Andy and Clint and I talked about and did a whole, you know, breakdown about Penn Jillette's interview with
yeah, you were talking about that.
Yeah. And kind of my comment there is it goes back to the Barkley thing of like making these, you know, people heroes, right? Like, you know, there's always a problem with that. They're human and their things can change. And do you have an anniversary dinner to go to? I don't want to.
Soon. We're wrapping up pretty soon. Okay. We gotta make it short.
We'll wrap it up. So the point is, stars, you know, athletes that you enjoy. It's great when they have your politics too, and then when they don't, then you're like, okay, whatever.
Right.
But it's best to just peel it back and go, okay, I enjoy what you do as an athlete. I don't really give a shit what you have to say because just because you are really good at whatever, pool, billiards, I don't know, throwing darts, doesn't mean that I give a shit about your ability to like what's the guy's name? He's super smart. He was chess genius, and then I think he's gone over and he's kind of like a Muslim now. I mean, there's, you know, you could all be weird.
Yeah.
So.
I'm not mad at a lot of them for that, you know, because I'm not calling them stupid either. You know, I'm just saying.
What's the we talked about this guy last time. The coach of the Warriors. I hate him.
Oh, Steve Kerr. Kerr. I'm mad at him. I don't like him.
He's a smart guy and he's a complete you know, political faggot. Yeah.
So Mark Cuban, I'm not mad at because he at least is a free thinker and he's really trying. And I think I don't agree with everything he's doing, but he at least sees the problems for what they are. Steve Kerr sees the problems and he goes complete fucking leftist. Yeah. And somebody like Charles Barkley, at least Charles Barkley, one thing I love about him being like a blue collar guy is that he does not forget his roots. He remembers the struggle of an everyday person, even though he's a millionaire and he's one of the best players to ever play the game. He still knows the struggles of your everyday middle class people, and so he talks about it as well. UFC fighters do tend to be more based. I mean, look at fucking Cain Velasquez. He tried to kill that guy who molested his family member. You know,
Chael Sonnen is pretty decent.
I do like Chael. Chael's not completely red pilled, but he's still very bright and he's not a normie. He's not at all. You know, he's at least somewhat got his head on his shoulders. I really do enjoy listening to Chael. I listen to his podcast sometimes. What was I gonna say? But
Andy says like, Mark Cuban is a Randian. I wish. I don't think he is.
No, I don't think so. Honest, I don't know, but I do enjoy some of the stuff Mark says. One thing that does get on my nerves is when I see people in music kind of turn. Like for example, Rage Against the Machine. You've built your whole career. You built your whole career on that. I don't even have to say anything else. You built your whole career on that. And when it comes to the vaccine and the COVID policies, you completely just bend over and take it up the ass and you rage on behalf of the machine. That kind of stuff pisses me off. When people in music that I love just do that, no.
What's funny is I just heard because I'm a Patreon of Brian McWilliams or Lions of Liberty, and he just had a rant about that this week, a short little thing. And my thing to you is I hated Rage Against the Machine in the 90s because I knew they were big lefty pieces of shit. I mean, it was right. It was.
Oh,
I
know they were. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. They don't rage against anything but you being enslaved, and it's always been that way. They're communist hacks. Big deal. I don't care if what's his name, the guitarist, went to Audio Slave.
Was it Morello? Was it Morello that was bitching about it? Oh, which really makes me sad because I love Tom Morello's work. Like they were always leftist. Yeah. So I'm not old enough to know their politics from back in the day. Yeah. I just know I love Morello playing the guitar. And so I never looked into his politics, just like I love Ted Nugent, but I never thought about his politics until he went on Rogan. And I was like, oh, he's a right winger. Okay, cool. I just love the fucking way he plays the guitar, just like I love how Morello plays the guitar, just how I love how fucking David Gilmour or whoever else plays, you know. Another one is oh fuck, the British guy, Eric Clapton. I love Eric Clapton, and he's getting dragged through the mud just because he suggested that we shouldn't be locking down for 2 fucking years. Like, yeah, I don't know. The music industry has really been going crazy, I think.
Right. Him and what's his name from Brown Eyed Girl? Who's that? Van Morrison. They came out against the lockdown stuff. Yeah, exactly. I'm with you. Van Morrison.
Can you look up real quick? I forgot. It was this black guy. He was one of the best guitarists too. No, okay. Look up Eric Clapton falling out or whatever. It was one of the most legendary players of Eric Clapton's era. And he and Eric Clapton were best friends. They played together at many conventions, many concerts. They shared the stage with B.B. King at one of his last performances too.
It's a black guy.
Yeah, it's a black guy. They were best friends. That's just how I know. I don't fucking know his name. I forgot.
Did he push him out of a window?
And just to make the song "Tears in Heaven," yeah. But they were best friends. And then after Clapton kind of came out against just mandates, he was like, "I'm done with you. I'm never talking to you again." He publicly said that.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was, but a very prominent
people
player.
Are insane, and I appreciate Clapton, Van Morrison, kind of holding strong.
Yeah.
I don't know if Roger Waters is doing that on the vaccines. I know he's kind of been, he's a weird guy.
Yeah.
But it's these old, and you go back to, like the 60s where they were counterculture, the lefty, musicians and stuff, they were really pushing against these things, and they are they're showing that they're pieces of shit now.
So I think it was basically because like back in the 60s and 70s, like you said,
maybe Kev Mo.
It might've been him. I think it was Kev Mo. But like you said, I think back in the 60s and 70s, they were pushing against war and stuff because I think they were just straight up tankies and commies, and they wanted communism to spread. And that's why they were against the war, not because they were anti-war. Because you look at them now, and they're pushing for war in Ukraine. They're pushing for vaccine mandates. They're pushing for gun control. All these authoritarian policies. They don't give a shit.
Kev Mo is who he thinks you're talking about.
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure it was Kev Mo. Yeah. Because they were close, they were tight, and he just straight up cut it off.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So what? I just had a thought, and this is the problem with the beer drinking. It went away. So you were saying about the war stuff. So what's interesting is me being a right winger growing up before I turned kind of libertarian anarchist was the war propaganda. The Vietnam War was always a problem to me because it was always seen as exactly what you're talking about there. They're anti-war because they're really pro-communist.
Right.
And that was such a problem. And I didn't know about Rothbard during this period. I mean, he might be the only little small aspect of a right winger in a sense that was anti-war. And so when I found this with the libertarian movement, it was like, I was like, no. So
yeah, same. I mean, when
guy. Okay.
I got a, no, it was Buddy Guy. It was Buddy Guy. That's who it was. Okay. Pretty sure it's Buddy Guy. Yeah.
I'll check that out, Spud. Okay, she calls me Unit. Unit should listen to. Thank you, by the way. I'd love that as my nickname.
Which one of us is a Unit?
Right. I'm no Randy Johnson, but thank you. Should listen to Tony Hinchcliffe talking about meeting Roger Waters. It was so funny. Okay, I'll check that out. I'm a big Tony Hinchcliffe fan. You got to go.
So, yeah, I gotta go. I'm really sorry. I have to cut it so short. I didn't realize she was gonna start cooking right when we started.
It's your anniversary. I don't know why you're on here anyway.
Well, tomorrow's the anniversary. Tomorrow is, but it's the weekend. We're celebrating the full thing,
Go take care of that. Okay, people.
Absolutely.
Numb and Number. I do recommend it. Show your wheat mango cart. I'm gonna get some of that.
Yeah. So, dude, it's amazing. It's one of my favorites.
All right, people.
They also make a guava too, a guava cart. You should try that.
I'll try the guava cart. That sounds a little ethnic, but we'll go there. Thanks, Dickie. Thanks, everyone, and have a good weekend. Tomorrow, 6 o'clock Pacific, 8 Central, 9 Eastern, if anyone cares. Scott Horton, Andy, we're going to talk about skateboarding. I'm going to do a little bit of politics, but mostly skateboarding. I'll
tune in on Tuesday.
Okay, check us out on Tuesday. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, I'm leaving now. Bye, guys.
But she's back.
And now.
Chick-fil-A is completely overrated. It's not that good. I prefer Zaxby's. I prefer Popeyes.
Takes a tough man to make a tender forecast, Nick. I guess that's me. Keep fucking that chicken.
Should I vote for Dick Cheney on the Libertarian Party? Do I have an obligation to vote for Dick Cheney?
I would say so.
Yes.
Did it work for those people?
No, it never does. I mean, these people somehow delude themselves into thinking it might, but but it might work for us.
That one dude was like, not a podcast. I can't find it anywhere. They don't have video.
Oh, yeah, Peter Janke. Yeah.
Yeah, I blocked him.
I'll do it. If he unblocks me, I'll...
He'll buy your shirt if you unblock him, Bert. He's a wigger.
Yeah, nothing cooler than a 49-year-old wigger.
I just started live streaming. Cut me some slack. I'm pretty high tech for a boomer. But anyways,
boomer.